this is Noreen from joyacards.com and welcome to my video. Hey, I would love to show you how to make this beautifully embossed card. Now, I happen to be using Thoughtful Expression Bundle, and this is a great bundle. Look at all these like sentiment tags and stuff, and you can use these for making shaker cards and whatever. And the Hummingbird is just really beautiful. This is one of the best sets from the new mini catalog. It's on page 62 and really doesn't do it any justice, but let's go ahead and get started. And don't forget to please like and subscribe. So we're going to start with the inside of the card. We basically have basic black. Now the basic black is cut 4 3/16 by 5.5 because you want it to miss the fold here. And then this is perennial lavender and it's 4 by 5.25. And I took the largest die here and I cut it out in basic white. So the 5.5 by 4 3/16, we'll just line it up at the end here like so. And then we'll take the lavender and snail that up and put it right here in the middle. And then I don't put sentiments inside of my cards because I don't know who I'm going to give it to. So you just have more options if you leave them blank. And then when you're ready to give somebody, then you can put whatever inside. As for the front, I'm going to put in some basic black, and this is going to be cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So you're giving just a tiny little border. So now let's go ahead and work on the front piece. First of all, let's do the second die cut, and that's this one here. We're going to do that in basic black. Let's start embossing. Now we're going to be using the big flower, the hummingbird, and the sentiment here. We're going to start with getting our embossing buddy out here and just give it a nice little powder and then get out our Versamark. I am using a stamping pad, even though my glass is really good for stamping, but I really want to make sure that it gets a good print on it. So we're going to start with the flower and get it nice and Versamarked. If you haven't used your Versamark in a while, you might want to re-ink it. So I'm going to get that, and I'm stamping on my stamping pad too. That always helps. And I'm going to just put it in the corner just like so, and then lift that up. Now we're going to go ahead and Versamark everything at once. So the next thing I want to do is a sentiment up here because I want my bird to be in a good position. So we've got the bottom stamp. Now let's do enjoy your day, which could be used for a birthday or congratulations or anniversary or anything. So that's why leaving the inside blank is just going to be a better thing to do if you're making cards in advance. Now let's go for the hummingbird. Now I always like to try to look at things before I start stamping so I know where I'm at. So I've got that kind of measured up, and I Versamark it really good. And then I want that beak to be just turned down at that flower just ever so right. So I'm going to push that down, and then I've got it. Grab your black embossing powder. Now I will take a snapshot of my worksheet here and I'll put it on my joyacards.com website. If you go there, like if you're just coming from YouTube, this will be on my website and you can scroll in and look at everything I've used here and all the measurements so you have it. But I'm going to sprinkle some of the black embossing powder all over my card. Now this is the Embossing Editions Toolkit. And what's kind of nice about it, if you notice, hold on, let me grab this right here. Make sure you got it all covered. But if you notice, on my sentiment, I've got a line here. And this comes with a nice little brush. And it comes with the embossing buddy. So that's great too. So I'm going to just make sure I've got everything here. I'm grabbing that line again, but that's okay. Flick it off. I'm going to take my brush and brush off that line. And I think I got everything covered, so let's heat emboss. So I've got my embossing gun heating up, and what I've got off to the side is one of these totally Tiffany things so I can hold my gun when I'm not using it. Or if I wanted to put it down and just let it heat up, I have my hands free. But these things are really nice. And it's got a nice little clipboard here too, so I can do it without burning myself. So this is really nice. And there's a link in my video for this as well if you want to check it out. So I'm going to emboss. You don't want to hold it on there too long, just in case you burn your paper. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is totally embossed. You can tell if it's at an angle that it's done when it gets really shiny. Let's color the flower first. So the leaves I'm going to do in dark granny apple green. The middle of the flowers is dark daffodil delight. The smaller flower is dark flirty flamingo, and the larger one is dark berry burst. Now, what's great about coloring on something that's embossed is you've got a nice outline to follow. So go ahead and fill in. I'm going to fill in the petals first. I've got the leaves in. Now I'm going to do the center of the flower. Now I'm intentionally trying not to run over the embossed black. I know that it should wipe off with a towel, but I'm trying to keep it not as muddy as it could be if you just ran the whole thing over. So there's the yellow, and then I'm going to do the dark flirty flamingo for the small one. Like I said, I'm trying to not run over the black outline. And next is the dark berry burst on the large flower. Like I said, trying not to run over the embossed part. Yeah, I know it's really hard to do, but you know, just make an effort. Now for the hummingbird, I'm using dark parakeet party, and I'm using all darks because this particular paper is really dark. And I try to use a lighter paper, but I really love this purple against the black when you mat it up. So I'm just going to fill in the belly and around the eyes a little bit and just leave that blue for the top of the, very top of the head and around. So there's my parakeet. And then I'm switching to dark Tahitian tide, which is a beautiful color. And I mean, there's no way to not hit that emboss, but I'm trying not to just, you know, lay it on too thick. And I'm going to take it to right here on the wing and right at the bottom, and then we'll switch colors over to the other one. But this is such a beautiful color. And just come around. I mean, it's already coming in really pretty. And then finally, dark blueberry bushel. Now, if you look right here, I originally was going to just color it and die cut it out and all that, but I didn't think it looked as good like this than to just emboss the whole thing. And I also had to cut off the white edge from where the die cut. But I thought this looked better this way. And it's actually a lot easier. And that's the bird. I mean, don't you think? I mean, write in the comments if you like it this way. I just thought to have them all muted because the flowers are muted. I think the bird should be muted as well and not like two different variants, like muted and bright. So I liked it better this way. Now let's snail this up. Now I'm really going to snail those corners good where the heat embossing happened because they have a tendency to lift up. So make sure you get those corners on there, and we're going to put this on right over the black, and then put on your little doohickey we cut out earlier. That's its technical name. And then I use my glossy dots assortment in a nice big one and put it, and then put a few other little embellishments around the card like this, and that's the card. So please like and subscribe and put in comments because it all helps me out, and that will do it for me. Thank you. Bye.